Hello, this is your traveling teacher reporting live once again, and this time from the Mississippi River, up near where it begins in the state of Minnesota. Right. I'm learning some really cool things here at the state park, right, which is called Mississippi Bluffs State Park here in Minnesota. I'm learning a lot about the start of the Mississippi River right now, and also how it got formed in the days of the glaciers. I read it here on this wonderful sign. And let me zoom in on a couple of things for you so that you can see it. Right. The first thing is, can you see here the glaciers that used to exist in this section of the country? Right? This sign was telling me here that these glaciers melted and filled in this whole valley. Now check out this whole valley. You can see on this side the big kind of the hill, the bluff they call this on this side. But you see how wide this valley is? In the distance you can see the bluff or the hill or the mountain on the other side, right? When the glaciers first melted, the Mississippi River was all the water that came off of the glaciers, and it filled in all the way from this top of this mountain all the way to the top of the mountain on the other side. Now you can see now in the middle that there's water and land, right? It said on this wonderful sign that I learned so much from that as the years went by, there's less water rushing through this valley. Some of it has evaporated, and now the water comes from the rain that falls, from other tributaries that bring water in, right? But there's not that huge rush of water from the glaciers melting. So now this is the size of the Mississippi River right here. But when it first got started, it stretched all the way from this side, all the way to way over there in the distance that you can see. Right? And that's pretty cool that it talks about that now. It also talks about how with so many tributaries flowing into the Mississippi River, they bring with them not just the water that fills up the Mississippi, but also a lot of sediments, a lot of dirt, right? Remember we talked about the silt from the Mississippi River, the dirt from the bottom, the really good soil that gets washed up on the side. Well, it turns out soil of all different kinds comes through the river, brought by the tributaries. And that's actually filling up the space here that the water used to take up. So that the size of the Mississippi River is changing because of all the different sediments that are brought in from the different tributaries that flow into it. I thought that was pretty awesome. Now I have one more cool thing to show you on this lovely little map here. Let me zoom in and show it to you. Right. And that is that here we are in Minnesota, and you can see where it says Itasca State Park. Right, that's Lake Itasca. There's Drew's finger pointed to it for you. That's Lake Itasca. That's the beginning of the Mississippi River for the whole country. It's here in Minnesota. And then as I zoom out, you can see where it goes in the state of Minnesota, right? And how it comes along the border with Wisconsin and along the border with, what's below Wisconsin over there? But between Iowa and Wisconsin and Illinois. And you can see where we are. We're at Great River Bluffs State Park. So we actually are pretty far away from Lake Itasca still, right? And you can tell that this is a really big river already, right? That it's much narrower up near Lake Itasca, and that this actually is still the narrow part of the river, right? When we get down south, right, to the southern part where it flows out in Louisiana, this river is a lot wider, right? And it's looking pretty wide to me already, which I think is pretty cool. Let me zoom in one more time for you. See if you can check out the way this river goes and how you can see the islands in between. You can see there's another section of the river over there. One little side note, the Mississippi River is filled with mosquitoes, just to let you know.
Yeah, I hate the mosquitoes.
But the river's beautiful, isn't it, Drew? Now, see, that shows you the bluffs on the other side. You see the bluffs on the other side, those big hills? Right? That was all filled up with water when the glaciers first melted. Right? And now, all right, now you can see that it's not so much. Ooh, a little bit of shakiness there. Whoop, I hope I didn't make you too dizzy, my dears. All right, so goodbye for now, and we'll report to you back from another wonderful spot on our travels later on.